So like usually stand up doesn't go that way. This was like like a PSA in the format of a stand up.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
And
So
it's interesting to me, it's innovative.
it was amazing because yeah, like sometimes when they do stand-up comedy, like they'll put in like one or two little things like here, like let me creep this in, like let me just put this in there so people can like think about it later and like make a point. But she didn't care. Like, she just went full on for it, and I think that's such a boss move, like such a great thing to do. And
Yeah.
she obviously received a lot of criticism, especially from like white men in general, people who are against the LGBTQ plus community. So it's like, I just think that, when you live in your power, um, there's really nothing that can beat you. There's really nothing that can stop you. There's nothing that can like deviate you or take you off of your path when you are really living in it.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's people that like I used to call it fake confidence in
Yeah.
college. Because I went through like I've gone through many phases of fake confidence, and I can sort of recognize it when people are doing it,
Yeah.
and like I had friends in college that they're for example, I had this friend that he went through a lot of shit in his upbringing, especially like his first 2 years of college were terrible. He was doing a lot of drugs. He was sadly, he was like really depressed. He was really overweight, and he was like going through a lot with his family because he came from a strict like uh a strict uh church family that they just like
Yeah.
they go every Tuesday, every Wednesday, and every Thursday, and then every
Yep.
Saturday, and like 5 days a week. And he was going
Yeah.
through a lot, and then this one
Mm.
time he almost OD'd, and if it weren't because of his roommates,
Yeah.
who like basically pumped his stomach, he I would have not met him. So
Yeah.
after that, he like turned his life around because a near-death experience teaches you so much. And I've had a couple. I'm not gonna lie, I've had a couple, which I can get to in later. But
Mm.
not with not exactly with drugs. More likely with like
Mm-hmm.
stupid life choices. And
Yeah.
uh, yeah, so like after that he turned his life around, and he ended up in like doing a lot of workout. He cut off everything. He barely even drank, like maybe like 2 years after that he started drinking, and
Mm-hmm.
it was like really light, like maybe he would have one drink at a party,
Yeah.
and then he would call it a night. And like once he got over that lump, of like, because he started to go up the mountain, of his own like self-improvement, self-care, cleanup. And then once
Yeah.
he started to plateau in that place, then he started to addressing it in a different way. You know how like addicts mainly can't even like have like a like if you're an addict to alcohol, say if you're an alcoholic, most
Mm-hmm.
people can't even have like one drink
Mm-hmm.
because they'll just go downhill from there. So like he understood that factor within himself, and
Mm-hmm.
he would play with that in a sense that he would like edge himself. And he would like, yeah, I'm going to that party and I'm going to have that drink and I'm going to have that one drink. And he said it was a whole ordeal. Like I did enjoy the party, but I enjoyed the party mainly because I was trying to focus on having a good time without
Mm-hmm.
having to go down the slippery slope of
Yep.
drinking like 10 beers in one go.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Yep.
he was like, I'm playing with that. And it's a double-edged sword because,
Yeah.
he can go
Yeah.
down the slope again. And he did that for like months with different vices because he used to take like opiates, and he used to take
Mm.
um, different kinds of drugs. and he used to do a lot of stuff, and then he would be like, if I'm gonna drink one beer this weekend, I have to work out twice. And so he would work out twice, and he got ripped. Like he just like, and like he showed me pictures of himself, and he's like, this was me 2 years ago, and I couldn't believe it. He had dropped like maybe 150 pounds, and
Damn.
yeah, and he got like he did a lot of stuff, and he's a great human being. I haven't spoken with him in a while. I wish I could have him for an episode. But yeah, he went through a lot, and I think the point that I was trying to make, because I went over this whole, I do that shit all the time, right? I,
It's okay. We all do.
I just go off that rant. That self-improvement thing, and that like looking after yourself in different angles, and just I don't know, just looking after the fact that like there's so much that you have to do. I like it's like that ACD song that like if ACDC song that if you wanna it takes a long way to the top if you wanna rock and roll, you know.
Gosh, this reminds me of Amy Winehouse. I don't want to go to rehab. And I
And I
said
said,
no,
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 no, no.
no. Actually, today is the 10th year anniversary of her death, actually. So
Wow.
rest in peace, Amy.
Rest in peace, anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's it takes and that's power to me. But at the same time, fake confidence was the part that I
Mhm.
was trying to get to. Fake confidence comes
Ah, there it is.
because he had like all these years of trauma building up for a really long time. And so once he like got to that place where he sort of like he was great, yes, he was doing great, but then you could still feel like if you're a very sensitive person, you could still feel
Yeah.
that sometimes he wasn't really confident about doing some things or like saying some things or being in a certain situation. And and that's really the nitty gritty of 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 the self-improvement route to me, like looking into those creases.
Yeah. Thinking about like self-improvement, like excuse my French, but bitch, I got years of trauma. I got years of shit that I've been working through. But it's like finally I feel that I'm in a place where I'm finding myself again. Um, because like we've been through so much crap, and uh, I've been through so much crap and things that you don't even know about, like it's for anyone who doesn't know, he's my brother. So it's like,
Yeah,
we grew up together, we know each other.
yeah.
Um, but getting to that point of just discovering yourself again once you've lost yourself is really beautiful. There are people that never get out of it. There are people that just keep going deeper and deeper and deeper into that dark black hole, and they just don't know how to get out, and they do really stupid stuff. They hurt other people, or they end up hurting themselves and just like ending this mortal state, right? Um, and I think for me, um, it's been so long. Like, I think most of my life, I was always go, 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 do, 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 do. I never had a moment to stop and think and reflect. Um, the only and I've always been this type of person that I've been like fearless and just like a go-getter, and I've been a force of nature, and it's like you better watch out because I'm coming for you, and I'm gonna not just coming for you in a bad way, but like I'm really gonna do this. And I remember I did the craziest stuff. Like I was fearless. I was fearless, and I lost that for and I was just reflecting on that today, and I was like, oh my gosh, how did I let that happen? How did I let her go? Because she was like, yes, there were so many things that she had to fix. That old Gabby, she had to fix so many things. She had to learn a lot of stuff. She had to grow a lot, and heal from a lot of things. But that part of me, I miss it. I miss that part of being fearless, literally fearless. I did not fear anything, which is just such a rare thing now that I've been trying to get back to it. And it's just like, oh, it's such a blessing to be that person because you just go after what you want. Like for me, I remember I said, I'm gonna go to Chile and I'm gonna go to school there, right? I wanted to do my master's in Chile. And I was like, no matter what, I'm gonna go. And I'm gonna go next year. This was like in December of 2014. And I was
Wow.
like, it was like December 2014. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna make it and I'm gonna go there. And I'm gonna be there for their next like new cycle. Um and that was in their new cycle started in April because they have, different like times than us. Like there's our summer is their winter, so it
Hmm.
just varies. So I was like, yeah, like in by April, which was their fall semester, by April, I'm gonna be there. And April 2015. So I was like, first of all, how am I gonna get the money? I have to do the audition for the school. I have to get a visa. Like, how am I gonna do all this stuff with like a measly little paycheck that I can barely live off of? And I remember I was like, I have no limits. That was the way I used to think. And I really didn't. And um, I remember that I did everything. I applied for the visa and everything 1 month before. No, I'm sorry, not 1 month before. I did the application for the school in, I believe it was in January 2015. I had asked the school for, information about their program in December, and they gave me all the information. They were like, "This is what you have to do. You have to audition. You have to do this scene and do this and that and blah 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 blah." So I was like, "Okay, so I have to put this stuff together," and so I went, and I remember in January I did this whole crazy thing where I put like two plays together. I presented this play in different parts of in Puerto Rico. Like I put two of them in San Juan and one in Caguas, and it was just like this is gonna be my way of me getting money, right? Like by selling tickets for people to watch this play that I've directed because the masters wasn't directing. And then I did all that, and I sent them the video and everything. I I got like a mini publication in Escena Boricua, I think it's called, which is like their playbill. Um, and I was just like so blown away about how things are just like coming to pass. And that month, I think it was like February, they told me, "Yeah, congratulations, you've been accepted." I was like, "Awesome." I also, in that time, mind you, I was working as a school teacher, like a private school teacher. I was teaching, my bachelor's degree is in acting.
Mm.
And I was teaching math, science, history, or social studies, and Spanish. It's a whole nother thing. But I was doing all that, prepping as a teacher, which was not easy. Like teachers deserve all the money in the world because they're saviors in this world.
Yeah.
Um, so I was doing that. Plus, I was in a play. I was in La Bruja de Salem in Bellas Artes.
Uh-huh.
Um, so it was like a whole thing. And I also had to do, um, like, I don't know how to call it in English, but es una propuesta de tesis. Like you just talk about like, just like what you're going to talk about in your thesis, but that thing was like 10 pages long and I had to do research and all this stuff about it. And I was like, I don't
Jesus
even know what my
Christ.
thesis is going to be yet. Like, I'm supposed to have 2 years for this, but I had to do all that. Um, and the thesis has a very like it has a different format. It's not just like you're writing an essay, you know.
See.
I've never wrote a thesis before, so I was like, I don't know how to do this. Um, it was a whole thing, but I did it all. I sent in all that stuff. Then I got accepted. They were like, "Yeah, congratulations, you've been accepted." I was like, "Great. Now how do I get a visa?" And I did. I like I went to the embassy, the Chilean embassy in San Juan, in Puerto Rico, and then My gosh, I had to get like all these stamps, all these things, medical exams, a whole bunch of stuff that they asked for you. I had to like write like an affidavit or something of like how I was going to be able to support myself financially while I was over there. I was like, I have nowhere to fall dead. Like, I don't, do you understand? So,
Diablo.
because my thought was once I get to Chile, I can start working there, you know?
Sí.
Little did I know.